Alumni Orchestra, directed by John Sitar.
Oh, beautiful, for heroes bruised in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. May God in thy gold refine in all success, nobleness, and every gain divine.
And now, he's got an Oscar, he's got an Emmy, he's got a Golden Globe, but he's never had a dinner. Mr. Red Buttons.
Oh boy, I tell you, I haven't been this excited since the night I saw Madonna give Ariana Huffington a hickey. I am here tonight for a national treasure, Mickey Rooney. A man who recently asked Congress for $87 billion to help cover his alimony checks. Put your hand down, Mickey. They'll sell you to high school. Of California's 135 gubernatorial candidates, over half were once married to Mickey Rooney. And the other half were married to Artie Shaw and Larry King. Mickey, God bless him, has done this all his life. Mickey broke into show business when he was only 17 months old, and a year later he married his babysitter. Yes, my friends, there he sits, the Lord of the wedding rings. Clever stuff, clever stuff. What a career. What a career, what work, what a lifetime of work. He starred in Boys Town with Spencer Tracy and the underrated Boy Georgestown with Richard Simmons. God bless him, God bless him. He's the only man in Hollywood Billy Barty ever looked down on, and he's still in action. Still in action. Right now, he's up for the lead in a science fiction series on TV's new ARP channel, The Day the Jell-O Stood Still. I worked, Mickey, I worked for 2 weeks like a dog to come up with this stuff. What a career. I just pick out highlights here tonight. In the late 60s, Mickey appeared in The Extraordinary Seaman, a documentary on Anthony Quinn's DNA. What a man, God love him, what a man. A man who once said to Marcel Marceau, please don't talk about me when I'm gone. That's what Mickey said. And you all remember the Andy Hardy movies? You all remember Andy Hardy. Here is a list of Andy Hardy movies that were never released. Andy Hardy hires a hooker. Andy Hardy stiffs a stripper. Andy Hardy hits a gay bar. Andy Hardy and the Hasidic housewife. Why they never, I'll never know. He made an Andy Hardy for the Jewish people. You couldn't remember it. It was never released. A Moyle Mames Andy Hardy. Those sitting around Mickey, please explain to Mickey what a Moyle does. And if anybody has a razor or a knife, just show them. That's right. The one they should have released and did not release would have been a smash. Andy Hardy Stoops Lassie. Little things they didn't know about you. And so, in keeping with tonight's New York theme, I remind you all to give Mickey the finger on the way out. But Mickey, you're being honored tonight by the New York alumni. This isn't just some ordinary honorarium. It's a very prestigious, not too many people have gotten this. I have here just a small list of some of the biggies who never got a New York alumni, whatever. Colin Powell, who said, show me a diplomat who wears the pens and I will show you a leak in the State Department. Yes, remember it was Joan Rivers who said to Karl Rove, can we leak? Gray Davis, who is recalling every middle finger in the state of California, never got a New York Alumni Award. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who said, is harass one word or two? Vanna White, who said to Rush Limbaugh, KKK or NFL? Never. Cruz Bustamante. Hey, they said I couldn't talk the language, huh? Cruz Bustamante, who fought for the law that allowed Cheech and Chong to use the same green card. Never got this prize. God bless you, Mickey. Kobe Bryant, who dunked when he should have passed. Dickie Roberts, who said to Oral Roberts, One of us has a dirty name. God bless you, Mick. Sigmund Freud, who said, according to my research, I found out that the average man will have sex over 32,000 times in his life. 27 times if he has it with a partner. Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, who said, if you are so sick, that you have to have sex with an animal, do it with a horse. This way you'll always have a ride home. Tomorrow night, I will be sitting in this auditorium right up front, attending the high holiday Yom Kippur Kol Nidra service. 58 years ago, in Nuremberg, Germany, Mickey Rooney and I, in uniform and in the same outfit, attended the first Yom Kippur services since the Nazi murderers formed the Third Reich. He sat with me with a yarmulke on his head and love in his heart for our people. And he shed a tear with me when a pitiful ragtag group of death camp survivors joined us for the service. We came face to face with man's inhumanity to man, and it broke our hearts. In my lifetime, Mickey Rooney has broken my heart many, many times with his superb artistry and performances. He's my idol. He's my friend. I love him. Mick, Happy New Year to you and Jan and the family, and also one for Ed Asner. Good night. I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Red Buttons. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of the world-famous improv, Mr. Bud Friedman.
Tonight, of course, we're honoring one of our true icons, Mickey Rooney. And we're also pleased to be awarding our second international adoption, of a Renaissance man. We have tonight the good guy from Austria, Theo Bickel. I can't follow Red, who can? So I will bring up our next performers. No, not performers, but the producers of this event, the creators of this event. They worked tirelessly putting this together, and I think tonight you're going to see a show that will surpass most shows we've seen. I mean, it's just fantastic what we have here tonight. Everyone got their Delaney card? I got mine. Okay, our next performer is a lovely and talented young lady that was in the original company of Grease. She did, how many Broadway shows? About 3 or 4 at least. Promises, I Love My Wife, and of course, she was one of the stars of the hit television show, Mr. Belvedere. Please welcome the lovely, talented Eileen Graff. Eileen?
All right, New Yorkers, let's go Midtown. Let's go to Times Square. Let's go to Broadway. Come on along and live. listen to the lullaby of Broadway, the hip hooray and the ballyhoo, the lullaby of Broadway, the rumble of the subway train, the rattle of the taxis, the daffodils who entertain at Angelo's and Maxie's. When a Broadway baby says goodnight, it's early in the morning. Manhattan babies, they don't sleep tight. There's no good night on Broadway. There's no good night on Broadway. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. And they say there's always magic in the air. But when you're walking down the street and you ain't had enough to eat, that glitter rubs right off and you're nowhere. They say that I won't last too long on Broadway, that I'll get that F train back home to Queens. That's what they say. Good night, lady. Good night. The milkman's on his way. Sleep tight, baby. Sleep tight. Oh, let's call it a day. Hey, listen to the band. Oh, they say the lights are bright on Broadway. But they're all wrong, I know they are, 'cause I can play this here guitar, and I won't quit till I'm a star, till I'm a star on Broadway. The band begins to go to town, and everything gets crazy. You run to buy your baby down, till everything gets hazy. Good night, lady. Good night. The milkman's on his way. Broadway, baby, that's me. And I won't go away till I'm listening to that lullaby of old Broadway. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you all. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to say thank you for me to this guy over here who is my arranger, conductor, musical director, accompanist, and for the past 26 years, my husband from East New York, Brooklyn, Ben Lanzarone. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. times get rough and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine, and all your dreams, they're on their way. See how they shine. And if you need a friend, I'm sailing right, I'm right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. I will ease your mind. Thank you. Thank you.
This guy is terrific. I know you're going to love him. You've seen him on all the various TV talk shows and his own special, I believe, on Comedy Central. If he doesn't, he will get one soon. Please welcome Mr. Michael Loftus, all the way from Ohio.
Thank you, Bud. A round of applause for everyone else you've seen tonight. It's a wonderful night. I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much. I live in California now. I'm originally from Ohio. It's wonderful. I'm proud of Ohio. Ohio's great. Everyone in California, you know, as soon as you say you're from Ohio, did you grow up on a farm? Are you a farmer? Come on, farmer, milk the cow, feed the chicken. And you just want to pop them. But no one is more proud than people from Texas. I don't know if you've ever been there. I was there a couple weeks ago. Oh my God. I've never seen anything like this before. Everywhere you go in Texas, there, don't mess with Texas. Pow, 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 digga-ding, ding, 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 digga-digga-ding, ding, 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 digga-digga-ding. That's their official motto, I found out. Don't mess with Texas. That's not a motto, that's a threat. Every other state's the howdy state. Hello, come on in, have some pie. Tell us about you. You seem interesting. Texas is, what the hell are you looking at? I'll beat your ass. Come on, pow, pow, pow. If you ever go to Texas, don't make fun of the guy in the cowboy hat, okay? Because a guy in Texas wearing a cowboy hat, that guy is a cowboy. They don't think that's funny at all. It's different here in LA. If a guy here's wearing a cowboy hat, he's going to a party, you know? He's like, I think I'll just wear the hat and the chaps. Come on, Carl, we're gonna be late. I know it's breezy, but I feel sassy. Don't say anything in Texas. Don't go, nice hat, dork, moo, because you'll just hear, yee-haw, and don't run, because that just makes it more fun for them. All you hear is their little boots clicking as they track you down, and they're tying you up like a baby cow on the rodeo. Who's laughing now, buddy? Now hold still. This is going to hurt like hell. These guys in Texas, they threatened to beat me up Texas style when I was there. Like, we're going to whoop you up Texas style. We're going to beat you up Texas style. They have their own style of beating people up. How awesome is that? No other state has that. You never meet a guy from Vermont who's like, we're going to beat you up Vermont style. Now, put on these khakis and this sweater vest and prepare for a thrashing. It's fisticuffs. I like people from Texas because they're all a little crazy. Everywhere you go there, there's just a little twinkle of I could lose my mind. That's good stuff. I like that. I'm glad the president's from Texas. In these crazy times, I want a president who's like, huh? Yeah, why'd you flinch? Ha ha ha, no tagbacks, buddy. Why are you hitting yourself, huh? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself, huh? Why are you hitting yourself? Yeah, I like Bush because he is a little crazy. I think you should have a little crazy in the president. My wife hates him. I can't stand him. I can't look at that man. He stole the election. He's the CIA. And why didn't you vote for Al Gore? I can't vote for Al Gore. He's not threatening at all. Who's going to be afraid of Al Gore? You know, I'm Al Gore. Be afraid. Be very afraid. I played the oboe in high school. I'm going to take the Taliban, put them in a locked box. The Taliban. I like Bush. He still calls them Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda! You know, I can hate that. It's like Nazi or KKK. You know? Taliban's too happy sounding. Al-Qaeda, that's got some meat to it. It's like a dog barking. Al-Qaeda! Pow, I had to kill it. You saw it. It had rabies. Taliban sounds like a crappy calypso group at a Holiday Inn somewhere. We're the Taliban. Who can take the sunshine, sprinkle it with dew? The Taliban can. Yeah, Bush says the stuff I want to hear, you know? He's like, we're going to find the evildoers, smoke them out of their hole, get a posse, get some guns, get some pow, 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 ding, 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 ding. I'm just watching Fox News, losing my mind, going, yeah! I love Fox News. If you don't watch it, start. Yeah. If you're ever worried about the world's event, watch Fox. It's going fine. I didn't watch until we started with, you know, the war in Iraq. When we first went to war in Iraq, I'll watch CNN. But their field reporters were all nervous and bringing me down, being all factual, you know. I don't know what's taking so long. The supply lines are thin. I haven't seen a tank in a couple of days. I don't have a helmet. Saddam's got a mustache. Oh, my God. Then you click it over to Fox. They're like, we're kicking their ass. I don't know what that building was, but we blew it up good, man. These guys let me drive the tank. Oh, I shot a guy yesterday. Back to you in the studio. I want a little crazy in my president. I sleep better. Bush has some great moves, too. I like it when Bush, he'll be giving a speech, and all of a sudden he'll just lock up and then start talking again like nothing happened. That's crazy like a fox, people. He's the first president that I've ever been nervous for. Whenever he has to give a speech, don't you get that little, oh, don't mess up, don't mess up. You're an idiot, but it's our secret. Don't tell anybody. It's the worst when Tony Blair is over, right? Tony Blair, he's all English, and I've memorized a thesaurus, and I'm going to speak most eloquently, blah, 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 blah. Makes our guy look like a dork. And that's the worst, when Bush has to go first. War coming, Saddam bad, plane fly, fire. Tony Blair. Thank you, my American counterpart. As we undertake this majestic endeavor, we must journey forth with, what the hell? Endeavor. Isn't that one of our space shuttles? Why does Tony Blair have our space shuttle? We'll find out. The Bushes hate Saddam. Second Bush, yeah, George W. finished it. George Bush 1. I didn't think he had the crazy in him. George Bush 1, the Phantom Menace. You know? He was kind of all neener, no new taxes, I'm a ween, and then all of a sudden he clicked it into overdrive and lost it like a white guy in a post office, you know? The Persian Gulf? Oh, Persian Gulf, that was a great war. That was an awesome one. We didn't even have our desert camouflage when we started that. We still had our jungle stuff left over from Vietnam. We beat their ass in the desert disguised as trees. That's a victory. My favorite part of the Persian Gulf War, George Bush wouldn't call Saddam Hussein Saddam. He called him Saddam because he knew it pissed him off. How great is that when your president fights like a third grader? That kicks ass. He knew the guy had satellite TV, so every time Bush was on, he'd go, Saddam, 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 Saddam. Knowing the guy's just in his bunker. Doo! It's Saddam. It's not that hard to pronounce. What's wrong with this guy? Saddam, 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 big old fatty fatum, blit-oh, blit-oh, blit-oh. And how unhappy is Saddam Hussein? He's killed like 53 of his own family members. And then how evil are you when you give your own sons pig Latin names? You know? Uday and Kusay. Their real names are Dude and Coos. They got a sister named eBay. I'm putting a bid in on her. So anyway, now we've got George Bush 2. George Bush 2, Attack of the Clones. And I know a lot of people don't like him. My wife hates him. He stole the election. She can't even look at him on TV. And then she gets mad at me. I'm like, honey, don't get mad at me for George Bush 2. Get mad at those people in Florida. Those people who are so stupid they couldn't punch a hole in a friggin' piece of paper. That's who you should be mad at. Aren't those people, and if you are one of those people from Florida, I doubt you are, but I don't know how you got here tonight. That was the best right after the election. They'd come on TV. I didn't understand the ballot. It was confusing. I didn't understand it. There was holes and arrows and punch-outs and numbers and names and no, sir, no, sir. I need to vote again. No, you need to give me the car keys. You're an idiot. Now someone's going to come along with a bus pass and a helmet. You stay right there. And then Al Gore was great. Gore was entertaining because I think every American's vote should count. I think we should have a recount, and I will stand by the results of a recount. Not those results, those suck. Let's have a second recount, and I will stand by son of a bitch, you guys. And then Bush was an idiot too. He thought after every time they counted the votes, he was already sworn in. He's like, pow, 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 I'm president. Oh, you're gonna count them. That's cool, I got more bullets, I can wait, let's go. Now I'm the president. Pow, pow, piggity, pow. Okay, great. Count them twice. I don't care. My brother is the governor. He said I was going to win, so whatever. I'll just hang out back here with my good friend Dick Cheney and my good friend Colin Powell. How's it going, fellas? Have you met Dick, Colin, Dick? You know, I just realized something kind of disturbing here, fellas. You're Dick, you're Colin, and I'm Bush. What the hell's going on there? Hey, thanks so much. Have a wonderful evening. I'm Mike Loftus.
Our next gentleman is past honoree. He is a wonderful actor, husband, father, a pony, and a poker player. Please welcome, not necessarily in that order, Mr. Dick Van Patten, ladies and gentlemen. Dickie.
Thank you, thank you. Please be seated. I have to tell you this. I was born in 1928, and that was the same year that the Academy Awards were born, Mickey Mouse was born, and Shirley Temple. So I guess I was supposed to be a child actor thanks to the efforts of my aggressive stage mother, and I thank God for her every day. But anyway, as I grew up as a child in the 30s and the 40s, nothing ever changed. We always had the same president, President Roosevelt. We always had the same Pope, Pope Pius. And we always had the same heavyweight champion, Joe Louis. And of course, the #1 star in Hollywood was Mickey Rooney. Well, you know, I tried to emulate Mickey Rooney. I couldn't do it. Nobody can do it. He's too good. You can't imitate Mickey Rooney. God put him on earth to be an actor. He can't say a line wrong. They just come out right. And the bad thing about this, not terrible, but sometimes he doesn't get the credit due him because he makes it look too easy. The man can make you laugh. He can make you cry. And it doesn't end there. He can sing. He can dance. He can play a musical instrument. It doesn't end there. He's a terrific tennis player. He's a wonderful diver and swimmer, a very good golfer. And when he was 17 years old, at 6:30 in the morning, and this is true, he used to go out to Santa Anita and gallop the fastest horse in the country, Seabiscuit. Mickey Rooney did that. I had a very good friend, a director, Ralph Nelson. He's gone now, but he got the Academy Award for the movie Lilies of the Field. And he directed a picture with Mickey Rooney and Anthony Quinn called Requiem for a Heavyweight. And when he was through, I called him up. I said, Ralph, how did the picture go? He said, I'm in a daze. I said, what do you mean? This is true. He said, that Mickey Rooney is an enigma. I said, why? He says, Dick, he said, I had Anthony Quinn and Mickey Rooney in the picture, and they were both wonderful. But before each scene, Anthony Quinn would ask for 15 to 20 minutes to get prepared for the scene. During that 15 and 20 minutes, Mickey Rooney was on the telephone with his bookmaker betting every track in the country. As soon as we said, all right, all the actors on the set, Mickey would hang up the phone, get out there, and give the most remarkable performance that I've ever seen. He said, I've never seen anything like it. And it's absolutely true. Last year, I was traveling for 20 weeks in a show, and I kept following Mickey and his wonderful wife, Jan, a wonderful singer. And I never got to see the show, but every theater I got to, they had just left, and the people were telling me what a wonderful show it was. And I'm sorry I missed it, but I know someday I'll catch up with it. Anyway, as you can tell from what I said, the reason I told you all this is because Mickey Rooney is my idol. Thank you.
He has flown in, this is the second year in a row that he's flown in to co-host this evening, all the way from Florida, although he's originally from Brooklyn. It is a great, great deal of pleasure. I welcome Mr. Sal Richards, ladies and gentlemen. Sal?
I'm happy to be back here again, and I'm glad that Dom DeLuise is here because it's nice to have an Italian in the audience tonight, I swear to God. Any other Italian people here tonight? Why? No, I'm really happy to be here. It's a pleasure to be back here again. And I've been watching television for 3 days since I'm here, and I'm sick and tired of Schwarzenegger. I really am. I want, by a show of hands, how many of you people in the audience have been groped by Arnold Schwarzenegger? Please raise your hand. I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn originally. I'd be a little concerned about a guy that's running for governor that thinks this state is called cauliflower. I met him the other day at a benefit. I met Arnold Schwarzenegger at a benefit. I says, Arnold, very nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. So I'm going to be with you, to tell you that I am yours, to be why you to be, to know that I am where I am because you are to be what I am, what to bow with me. I says, Arnold, how long are you in this country? 30 years. And you still speak like this. You're in America. Speak Spanish. I can't believe all these people that are running. Gary Coleman. What a joke. If he becomes a governor, he's got a problem. One of the mayors from one of the cities won't go to Gary Coleman. Mr. Governor, we have a problem. What you talking about, Mayor? Where are they going to sit him, in a high chair? But I'm really happy to be here. I got to read from a piece of paper right now because this young lady, I understand, is wonderful. I heard her at rehearsal today, but if you don't mind, I must read something to bring her on and have you really enjoy what she has to offer for you. And Mickey, these people are all here for you, pal, because we love you. My hair is standing so high on my arms. It's higher than you. That's how nervous I am. I swear to God. But anyway, let me say this. This young lady currently stars on the ABC Kids and Disney Channel comedy series called That's So Raven. She was born in the Netherlands. After touring Anne Frank's secret hiding place in Amsterdam and seeing her birth certificate on the wall, which read Anneliese Frank, her mother named her after this heroine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Anneliese van der Pol.
Dear Mr. Rooney,
I am writing this to you, and I hope that you will read it so you'll know. My heart beats like a hammer, and I stutter and I stammer every time I see you at the picture show. I guess I'm just another fan of yours, and I thought I'd write and tell you so. You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me love you. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. You made me happy. Sometimes you made me glad. But there were times, sir, you made me feel so sad. You made me sigh 'cause I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you. I think you're grand, that's true. Yes, I do, deed I do. You know I do. I must tell you what I'm feeling. The very mention of your name sends my heart reeling. You know you made me love you. Oh, gee, Mr. Rooney, I don't want to bother you. I guess you get a lot of girls to tell you the same thing. And if you don't want to read this, well, you don't have to. Oh, but I just had to tell you about the time I saw you in the Black Stallion. That was the first time I ever saw you, and I knew right then you were the nicest fella in the movies. I guess it's because you acted so, well, you know, so natural-like. Not like any real actor at all, but just like any fella you'd meet at school or at a party. And then one time I saw you in a picture with Judy Garland. Oh, and I just had to cry a little. Because you loved her so much, and you couldn't have her. Well, not until the end of the picture anyway. Oh, and then one time I saw you in person. You were making a personal appearance at the theater, and I was standing right outside your car when you got out, and you almost knocked me down. Oh, but it wasn't your fault. No, I was in the way. But you looked at me, and you smiled. Yeah, you smiled right at me as if you meant it. And I cried all the way home just because you smiled at me for being in your way. Oh, I'll never forget it, Mr. Rooney. Honest Injun, you're my favorite actor. I don't care what happens, let the whole world stop. As far as I'm concerned, you'll always be the top. 'Cause you know you made me love you. Oh, thank you.
What's his name here? He's a former honoree of the New York Alumni Association, an Emmy Award winner, and currently one of the stars on Boston Public, seen on Friday nights on Fox. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fivish Finkel.
Thank you, Sal Rabinowitz. We have a lot of people here tonight. It's so great and a joy to really honor a national treasure, a man that is so great in his personality and his talent. It's an honor to be here to honor Mickey Rooney tonight. A real honor. Also, he mentioned Jan Murray, 85 years old. Jan, don't worry. You don't have an enemy in the business. You outlived all of them. We're heading into a holiday, Yom Kippur, and I want to wish everybody, no matter what denomination, I'd love to wish you all a happy new year with good health and happiness for many, many years to come. Really. And it's a time when we all get together, people of all faiths. I'm from Crown Heights. Thank you. It's my wife. And I remember very well we had a party right after the holidays, a rabbi and a priest. They were talking and we're enjoying and we're discussing the world affairs. And the priest said to the rabbi, Rabbi Goldberg, I would like to ask you a question. He said, certainly. The holiday is over. Ask whatever you like. Have you eaten anything that is not kosher in your life? The rabbi says, yes, when I was a young man. I didn't know it was an accident. I went to a party, and it was a piece of pork that I didn't recognize, and I ate it, but it was an accident. The priest says, don't worry about it. It was an accident. Forget about it. Then the rabbi says, Father, I'd like to ask you a question. In your lifetime, have you ever been out with a lady? Priest said, why, certainly. When I was a young man, I went out with a lady for years. I wasn't even thinking of being ordained, and we lived together, and we enjoyed ourselves. So the rabbi says, come on, admit it. Isn't that better than pork? People always say about my name, Feivish Finkel. I've never changed my name. There's no reason to change it. Charles Durning is a name. Dame DeLuise, my God, such lovely names. But Feivish Finkel had a little trouble sometimes, but we overcame it. I know one thing. I had 3 cousins right after the Holocaust to bring them here. And they went over to the American Council. My 3 cousins, one was called Harold, the second was called Schmerl, and one was called Beryl. And the council said, gentlemen, you're going into the United States. You'll have to change your name. He says, Harold, your name will be Huck. Beryl, your name will be Buck. Schmerl says, I'm not going. But I'm here to do a service. I usually swear in all these people lately that we have adapted. So please, may I say this with a little prayer for the holidays? I have those 3 wishes. That I would say, I wish I had a telescope to scan the starry skies. But since I have no telescope, I'm glad I have 2 eyes. And I wish I had a kitchen run by push-button commands. But since that kitchen is still a dream, I'm glad I have 2 hands. And I wish I had a Rolls Royce to give you, my friends, a ride, a treat. Since that car may be a few months to come, I'm glad I have 2 feet. I have 2 eyes to look to God above. I have 2 hands to clasp in prayer. And I have 2 feet to take me to my house of worship, wherever and whenever I want to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at a millionaire.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Theodore Bickel. Theo, there are 3 things you have to promise if you're going to become an honorary New Yorker. So raise your right hand and take this solemn oath. The right hand. Oh, that's the right.
This is the right hand.
I know, but I'm on this side.
Yeah, but you're blocking me.
I'm blocking you. I'm sorry. Do you solemnly promise to ask the butcher for the leanest cut?
I do.
Do you solemnly promise to tip everyone in sight, even if they don't deserve it?
I do.
You got to be like the Italians. I go to a funeral, I tip the funeral director. I say, hey, see if you get me a seat by the coffin. And finally, do you solemnly promise to at least, I'm having fun, at least once a year, shop for bargains?
It's easier than paying retail.
Very good.
I do.
Okay. Congratulations. Theodore Bikel on becoming an honorary New Yorker. Mr. Finkel, would you please knight Mr. Bikel? You can put your hand down now.
Thank you, Salovich. Thank you.
Salvage?
Salvich, why is this night different from all the other nights? All right. Theodore Bikel, they gave me this big stick. It's only to knight you because we are overjoyed. And it's an honor to have Theodore Bikel being now an adoptee of the New York alumni, for which it is for us a great honor and a great pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, to join us here is that wonderful, wonderful person, Theodore Bikel.
Thank you. Thank you. Despite the 3 trick oaths, I am very honored and very pleased. As you've probably read in the Brooklyn Eagle and elsewhere, it's been a long life and a life of travel. I was born in Vienna, and unlike some others, I'd like to apologize for that. It was not easy. We lived on the main thoroughfare, and in March of 1938, the German Nazi troops marched in right under our window. There were armored cars, and then there were open limousines, first with a fat man, and then with the ogre with the mustache himself, right under our window. That forever does something to your life. We managed to get out after 6 months and make our way to Israel. I was 14 at the time. And while I didn't have enough knowledge to then make such resolves, I knew that I could never be still when I saw an injustice committed against anyone. Because in my mind, every time somebody was discriminated against, persecuted, because of who he was, what group he belonged to, what skin color he had, in my mind, that person became a Jew. And so I became an activist, along with the other callings that I have, that as an actor, a linguist, a singer, a musician. It was important to me, still is important to me, that injustices never be allowed to stand. New Yorkers know that. New Yorkers feel that. When I was in Israel, I joined as a young man the Habima Theater, the Israel's national theater, and the first professional role that I played, was in a play, straight play, no music, called Tevye the Milkman. I played the constable who tells them that they had to leave. I had 29 words to say. I counted them twice. And they paid me the equivalent of about $7.50 per performance. The first time they paid me those $7.50, I went home and I gave the money to my mother. And she took an empty coffee can and put the money in the coffee can. And I asked her, why are you doing that? I'm giving you this money, I earned it. She said, I'm putting that away because it's the first money you ever earned in the theater. I had a sneaking suspicion that she thought it was going to be the only money I would ever earn in the theater. Little did I know that many years later, I would play Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof more times than anybody. But in the interim, I spent 8 years in England, in London, at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. I was in the West End, Streetcar Named Desire, directed by Laurence Olivier, who was a formidable presence and a frightening director, because he not only told you what to do, but he showed you. And you knew you couldn't do it that way or that well. But 8 years in England still had me, in a sense, as a foreigner. I had a British passport, but you can be British, but you can't be English. But then I came to New York, and 8 weeks in New York makes you into a New Yorker. That was home, because it was direct, it was immediate. Even now, I marvel at the fact that New Yorkers are the way they are. I was in a cab in New York not too long ago, and as you must know, New York cab drivers have honed the art of politeness to a fine point. As I got out to pay, the driver said, "You know, you look just like that Theodore Bickel, the actor, should rest in peace." I gave him a very large tip. That wasn't the only driver I had like that. I had another driver. I was sitting in the back seat. He looks in the mirror and says, wait a minute. No, he's got dark hair. So I said, no, it's me. We all get older. He said, what do you mean older? You're old. New York was important to me. New York is important to me. It must be important to you. That's why you're here. You live in California. That's fine, because it gives you a chance to vote against the Wiener Schnitzel. I love it here and I love it there, and most of all, I love the fact that we, friends and relatives, and we are relatives in a sense, can get together and laugh. And that's the most important. Laugh and sing. Which brings me to the fact that I wear several hats, yarmulkes, if you will, and give you a little sample of the stuff that is important to me in terms of music. Years ago, when I lived in England, I used to go to France. I used to go to Paris, because that's where the Russian gypsies could be found. And that's probably one of my favorite forms of music. I sing a lot of Jewish songs, not because I think that they are better songs than the songs of my neighbor, but because they're mine. But the Russian gypsy songs mean something else, because they have a fire and a passion. And I used to go to nightclubs in Paris where the Russian gypsies were. They had thrown them out of Russia because they couldn't rely on them for any 5-year plans, or 3-year plans, or tomorrow. So they went to Paris, opened these nightclubs. And I went to the nightclubs as a student, spending money I didn't have on champagne I didn't want, all in an effort to learn these songs. And I learned hundreds of songs from old Russian, well, there were no young Russian gypsies around. The youngest one who sang was about 73 years old, which at the time seemed ancient to me. And his name was Volodya Polyakov, Volodya Polyakov Skotoshkin. Here's one of the songs I learned from Volodya Polyakov. He used to play the guitar like this. It's called Biryuzovi Kolechki, which means, as we all know, turquoise rings. He gives this girl turquoise rings and she disappears down the road, never to be seen again, and he suffers, which makes it a genuine Russian love song. And it ends with a sort of a which makes it an even more genuine Russian love song.
бирюзовые золотые колечки, их покатились по лужику. Ты ушла, и твои плечики скрылись в ночную мглу. Ари-тири-тари-ра, ари-рари-ри, эх, вида-вита, види-ви-я-ми-бай. Ты ушла, и твои плечики скрылись в ночную мглу. По зеленой травушке, муравушке, эх, не собрать и не потери, не в конец не вернусь, любви забавушки. Наше счастье вот и конец. А-ри-ри-ри-ра-ри-ра, а-ри-ра-ри-ри, эх, ви-ра-ви-та, ви-ри-ви-я-ме-бай, эх, ви-ра-ви, та-ри-ра-ви, ри-ри-рай-ри-рай-рай-рай, ри-ри-та-ри-тап-тап-тап, эх, видо, та-ви-ри-ви-я-ме-бай, эх, видо, та-ви-ри-ви-ра-ви-ра, ри-ри-рай-ри-рай. Ой, звени, моя гитара милая, отгони тоску мою печаль. Эх ты, жизнь моя постылая, ничего теперь не жаль. Ари-тири-тари-ра, ари-рай-рай-рай, ави-я-ме-бай, и-ви-та-ви-ро-ви-ро-ви, и-ви-ри-ро-ви-ро, по-цыгански. А в ходу и находцу, эх, чавал, чавалы, эх, чавалы, говорили са, чивили-ро-ви-ро, Тари-тари-тари-тари-там, эх, эх ты, жизнь моя постылая, ничего теперь не жаль.
Well, that wasn't international, what is? All right. At this point, let me call out my good and dear and old friend, Fivish Finkel, and we'll do something together.
I'd be
We've
delighted.
done for years.
Let me go
Yeah.
to the side. I always remember when we did Fiddler together, I was your butcher. And
That's
you were
right.
my Tevye.
That's right.
It was the best years of my career.
How come
Really wonderful.
How come they give you all these sexy lines in Boston public?
Oh, really? You
Yes.
know what I
All the
mean?
innuendos.
Oh, all these innuendos, and thank you, David Kelly.
All right.
Oh, are we ready?
We are ready.
I'm the butcher, you're Tevye, and I
right.
want to marry your daughter. How's that?
Have we set it up for you?
Okay. To life!
To life, L'chaim! L'chaim, L'chaim, to life! Here's to the father I tried to be.
Here's to my bride to be.
Drink L'chaim, to life, L'chaim! L'chaim, L'chaim, to life! Life has a way of confusing us.
Blessing and bruising us.
Drink L'chaim, to life! God would like us to be joyful even when our hearts lie panting on the floor.
How much more can we be joyful when there's really something to be joyful for?
to life, l'chaim, to cycle, my daughter,
My wife! It gives you something to think about.
something to drink about.
Drink l'chaim to life!
Hey, ha! To life, l'chaim, l'chaim, to life. Here's to the father I tried to be.
Here's to my bride to be.
Drink l'chaim, to life, l'chaim, l'chaim, to life. Life has a way of confusing us.
Blessing and bruising us.
Drink l'chaim,
To life! Hey!
be joyful even when I can't think
I am
to be joyful
joyful
for.
Hey!
To life, l'chaim, to cycle, my daughter,
My wife! It has a way of confusing us.
messing and losing us. Drink l'chaim,
To life! L'chaim, everybody! Thank you.
All right.
Happy New Year!
Tevye the milkman had a knack of talking directly to God without the need for middlemen. My people do that. They also walk on the water. Now, God is always up there. That's in the theater. In life, they tell you God is everywhere, but in the theater, believe me, you need a little more focus than that. So God is up there, and Tevye has this argument with God, who hasn't seen fit to endow him with worldly goods too much. So Tevye says to God things like, words to that effect. I realize, of course, it's no shame to be poor, but it's no great honor either. It's written, when a poor man eats a chicken, one of them is sick. So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune? If I were a rich man, yabba viva viva, yabba viva 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 bum. All day long I'd biddy biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Yabba viva viva, yabba viva 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 bum. If I were a biddy biddy rich, yiddle diddle diddle middle man, I'd build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. There would be one long staircase just going up and one even longer coming down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese and ducks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can. And each loud would land like a trumpet on the ear, as if to say, here lives a wealthy man. If I were a rich man, yabba viva viva, yabba viva 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 bum. All day long I'd biddy biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Yabba viva viva, yabba viva 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 bum. If I were a biddy biddy rich, diddle 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 man, I'd see my wife, my Goldie, looking like a rich man's wife with a proper double chin, supervising meals to her heart's delight. I'd see her putting on airs and dressing like a peacock. Oi, what a happy mood she's in, screaming at the servants day and night. The most important men in town will come to fawn on me. They will ask me to advise them, like a Solomon the Wise. if you please, Reptevye. Pardon me, Reptevye. Posing problems that would cross a rabbi's eyes. Ya be ya boy bomb. Bye, 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 bye. And it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're rich, they think you really know. If I were rich, I'd have the time that I lack to sit in the synagogue and pray. Maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. And I discuss the holy books with the learned men 7 hours every day. That would be the sweetest thing of all. Oh, if I were a rich man, yabba viva viva yabba viva 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 bum. All day long I'd biddy biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Yabba viva viva yabba viva 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 bum. Lord, who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. But would it spoil some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy man?